From TSSZ News headquarters to around the world at Sonic Speed, this is The Final. I'm Tristan Oliver. Tonight we discuss the revival of fan conventions in the United States as one is ready to raise the curtain in a couple of weeks. We speak to Sonic and Sega Fan Jam organizer Corey Maru about what it takes to plan and execute such a large-scale event, from the trials and tribulations of funding to the satisfaction of giving back to the community. We'll also have tonight's final word from you on Sonic Forces just days ahead of its launch. Tonight's prize is the last Sonic Forces New York Comic Con exclusive t-shirt we have from T-Turtle. Good evening. First, the news of the week, and once again there's been an early release of a major Sonic title. Copies of Sonic Forces began appearing in independently owned stores, and not long after, playthroughs began appearing on YouTube as early as this time last week. Sega at first issued takedown notices, but has since waned on that enforcement. There was, however, a proper launch of a Sonic Forces game this week, and it was on mobile. Hardlight began wide release of Sonic Forces Speed Battle on iOS after a long soft launch in other countries. The free-to-play game pits you against players from around the world in a race to the Phantom Ruby. You can play as Sonic, Silver, Shadow. Those are unlockable. You have Chaos, who's unlockable in the game, Amy, Espio, just about anybody you could ever possibly imagine from the Sonic universe is in this game. And we're going to actually talk about that next week on The Final. We'll be talking more about Sonic Forces Speed Battle with Hardlight. Our scheduled guest is producer Andrew McMillan. There's some good news on the music front for Sonic Adventure fans, as the soundtracks to both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are getting the vinyl treatment. Brave Wave Music will be pressing the selection of tunes on 2 separate releases. No, it's not a complete OST. What is chosen will be handpicked by Jun Senoway and will be remastered for the format. The records will be released sometime over the winter. We'll give you details on that on the website once they become available. And related, Datadisc will be issuing a third pressing of the Sonic Mania vinyl beginning next month. So that is clearly selling very, very well. And what happened today when Sega got the gang together behind the voices of Sonic, Shadow, and Eggman in a room for a Twitter takeover?
Join forces to sing La Macarena together. Oh, see?
No, I am not singing today. I do not sing.
Oh, come on, it could be fun!
Yeah, come on, Shadow, just sing one part, like this.
Something in Spanish. Hey, Macarena!
What fun indeed.
My goodness. And now, to Sonic fan conventions. Sega has hosted some of their own in recent years, but usually in major cities and usually in the context of a larger Comic-Con. After seeing the success of the Summer of Sonic convention in the UK, fan-run cons have seen a surge of support here in the United States. That's despite Summer of Sonic not returning this year in particular. Sonic Revolution was held in the West earlier this year with a cavalcade of special guests, and in 2 weeks, the Sonic and Sega Fan Jam will open its doors for the 4th straight year, actually, in Savannah, Georgia, with an all-star lineup of guests. But it's not easy putting something like it together. I spoke to Fan Jam's founder and coordinator, Corey Maru, a contributor to SegaBits.com, about his efforts earlier today. Take a look. Alright, Corey Maru, welcome to The Final, and let's talk a little bit about the Sonic and Sega Fan Jam. First off, how are preparations for that coming along?
Oh, it's going pretty well. right now we're just settling, getting the venue and getting all the guests hotel situated. Everything's good to go, ready. I'm really hyped. I'm hoping to see people play some classic Sega video games and participating in our interactive contests that we're gonna have as well, and probably get to know some of the guests who's all gonna be there, such as T Lopes, Mike Pollock, who were there last year, and we're gonna have some newer guests. We're gonna bring in a couple of people from the Sonic Mania team.
So let's talk about those guests. You mentioned T Lopes, you mentioned a bunch of folks, but this is an all-star lineup you have. You have basically most of the Mania development team and their producer, Lola Shiraishi. You have Hunter, you have Brad, you have Stealth, you have Simon Tomley, you have T Lopes, as you mentioned, but you also have Mike Pollock, Emmy Jones, Matt Mannheimer, Tracy Yardley, Evan Stanley, Hyper Potions, among others. I mean, this is a really great lineup. How did you do it?
How did I do it?
Yeah.
Let's just say I've gained a lot of support from the fans and stuff who's really hyped for the event, and I'm also a very, very hard worker. So when it comes to like Sega and stuff, I'm very passionate about the company and stuff, and I do whatever it takes to make everything happen. And I'm very happy to have all of them come in as guests.
We're looking right now at the sort of comp reel that you put together from last year's Fan Jam, and this is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the 4th year. You were talking about being a really hard worker when it comes to organizing these conventions, and I've never done it. I've only attended one fan convention, and it was the one that Sega organized. How do you go about organizing something like this, just from the nitty-gritty, finding a venue hall, to booking the guests, to selling the tickets, and doing the fundraising? Take me through it all.
Okay, so this is how I do it. So, where can I start? First, I usually go by the pricing of the venue and how many guests that we're gonna have, because you have to have make arrangements for flight tickets and hotel rooms for all the guests. Voice actors are a little different. What else was I gonna think of? So what I do is I go by the venue, check it out for a bit. See what's all what available space that we have that we can use for the event, and for all the guests and voice actors and stuff, what we do is we talk to them about their travel expenses, their and their way for them to see if they have enough time to check out the event and stuff, and maybe do a presentation. Yeah, it's a long process too, and it costs a lot of money. So pretty much me and my team, all we do is pretty much do the best that we can to raise the money, such as from our regular jobs to doing maybe commissions and whatever it takes. One of those back in the day old school stuff, you're trying to raise money, you do no matter what it takes, like car washes. You take donations and so on and so forth. So with this Fan Jam and the other ones, we take donations, and we also take the ticket pricing and put it all together to make one budget, so that way we can have everything squared away and stuff.
Does it get any easier with each passing year?
Get easier. It depends. It varies. If all the planning goes according to plan, but so far it's been pretty good so far. As long as let's say if we don't raise enough money on our say go get funding and stuff, we still gotta have the event happen in some degree. for everyone to like still enjoy and stuff. You know, you don't want to you know, like give everyone's hopes down and stuff. But we want to like have this event for everyone to enjoy and stuff, to play like, you know, all the video games, to meet all the guests, like just in case if they were unable to attend like official Sega events.
And there really haven't been a lot of official Sega events outside of conventions and things like that in the past couple of years. But you still get Sega talent coming to this, which is interesting. And obviously the big get is Mania. Do you think Sega should have a little bit more of a role in terms of organizing official conventions like they did a couple years ago with Sonic Boom or things like that? I mean, would you like to see more of an official presence for Sega or Aaron or others, you know, in this sort of circuit of conventions?
You mean like in fan conventions?
Or officially sanctioned conventions. I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think's the better approach for this? For Sega to organize this with fan help, or for fans to organize this with a little bit of Sega help, if that makes any sense?
That's a good question.
Well, I guess maybe I should start with this. In your dealings with Sega, in terms of organizing this year's events and previous year's events, I mean, have they been very receptive? Have they been really open? Have they been wanting to work with you to make this work year after year? I imagine so, if you're getting big guests like the Mania team, etc.
For me, like, I wanted to, you know, show my respect for Sega and all their hard work on their, for example, like Sonic Mania, and you know, I want to, you know, I want them to, like share their experiences working on these games and stuff for the fans out there, pretty much. They've been very supportive of like different fans. Like fan stuff over the years and stuff, such as like, you know, they've been supportive with you know, Summer of Sonic. They've been supportive of Sonic Revolution, and even fan games too as well. They've been very encouraging on that. So for this year's Fan Jam, I thought it would be like the perfect time to have the Sonic Mania team to share their experiences with the fans on you know, on everything Sonic the Hedgehog related, and perhaps a few Sega stuff too. Now, as for Sega making more frequent appearances at like events and conventions, what I would love to see from them, like I would love to see them like commit to different cons, like maybe Dragon Con perhaps, or any other conventions, like, you know, making more of a presence in New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con, to like, you know, broaden their horizon on their other brands, you know, such as the Yakuza series and you know, Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. So that way people could be more aware of their games that they're bringing out today.
It's interesting that you mentioned New York Comic Con, because I remember when Sega used to have a presence at that event, and Aaron would show up, and he actually did show up for the IDW panel last month in October, which was, we had no idea that was happening, which was kind of an exciting thing for us. But it used to be that Sega would have their booths. They wouldn't have to, you know, piggyback, as I call it, off of Archie Comics when that partnership was still alive, to do a couple booths in there, you know, and I kind of miss it. Now, I understand there's a budget involved and there's a process in getting that approved,
exactly.
And that's, I'm sure, for Sega, you know, as it is for you in sort of determining the budget for your event, you know, there are limits that you have to hold. I wonder, if you had like an unlimited budget, say you could, you know, do whatever you wanted with this, you know, what would you do? What would you do with an unlimited budget that you can't do now?
Ooh. Ooh. I like that question right there. What I've always wanted to do, if I wanted to make Fan Jam even bigger, of course, this is pretty much non-budget. It's not non-budget. I meant to say it's non-profit. What I would love to do, if I had like an unlimited budget, I would love to bring in maybe some of the Japanese developers who work on some of the different Sega games over the years. Maybe some like legendary Sega staff, such as Takanobu Mitsuyoshi, who's happened to be like a music composer for various of Sega games like Daytona USA, Virtual Fighter 2, Shenmue, you name it. And I would also love to bring Makoto Ochida. He's the developer behind Golden Axe, Alien Storm, and Dynamite Deca. I would love to bring pretty much anybody who worked on these Sega titles that were like the heyday back in the day. And who else? And I would like, for the Sonic fans and stuff too, I would definitely love to bring in like the whole cast of like the previous Sonic Adventure titles, or maybe the current ones as well. I met a few of them. I talked to a few of them. They're really cool people. I would definitely love to have them as guests.
That's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, Jun Senoue was announced as a guest at MagFest, which is up near my way. It'll be in the DC area in January. So, certainly it can be done. There are certainly things you can and can't do. Tell me, how has the community response been over the past 4 years with Sonic and Sega Fan Jam, in terms of, gathering donations, gathering support? Has it been pretty consistent in your estimation?
Pretty much. I want to say, as for fan, like, I'll say this, like, for fans, it's a little bit harder to like raise money for an event, as we're not really official per se, but like it's been very supportive. People have been very supportive of like the event and stuff. I think I guess it's the term of announcing certain things and stuff to get people excited for your event, and and then and you also you gotta like make sure you can like maybe exchange something for them, for the fans who support your event. So for the people who, let's say for example, for the people of this year who bought their $25 tickets and stuff, they'll receive like a Sega Fan Jam poster made by Tracy Yardley that features all the different Sega characters that represents the games that came out in 2017.
But you did receive some donations, or you did at least ask for them, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's from when we were doing like promotion streams and stuff. I'll collab with like different Sonic community members and stuff, and they're really good friends. Like Emily, AJ, Dorian Nelson. I've like talked to them and see what we can like make some arrangements and stuff. I even talked to some of the Sega community peeps, like Saturn Memories, and we've all collaborated together to see how we could promote Fan Jam, so that way we can bring a wider audience and bring awareness about the event.
Talk to me about the location. Savannah, Georgia. I imagine that's near where you live, but it is also really kind of an underserved community in terms of conventions. It's a relatively small city in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I'm used to going to New York Comic Con. I went to Wizard World in Philly this year. There's San Diego Comic Con. There's E3. What's the difference between bringing something like this to a small city versus potentially maybe bringing it to a place like a DC, like MagFest, or even New York?
I've been thinking about that for a while too. It definitely involves budget and seeing like how you're gonna plan things around and stuff. Because when you're planning for events and stuff, anything can happen in the future and stuff. Like you might have some miscommunications, or you might not have enough volunteers who live in that particular area. Now, if I had an unlimited budget, I would definitely love to move FanJam elsewhere. Probably maybe in Atlanta, Georgia, or probably Florida as well. But but a matter of speaking, it all depends on budget.
Of course, most things in life depend on budget, don't they?
Oh yeah.
I certainly could not do what you're doing right now. It takes a tremendous amount of effort, a tremendous amount of planning, budget, obviously, and I'm sure a lot of patience. I'm sure there are some guests that you wanted this year or even previous years that I'm sure you couldn't get, But I mean, this is a pretty all-star lineup, I gotta say, for the 2017 Fan Jam. Really quick, let's talk a little bit about not just your Sonic influences, but your Sega influences, because you write for Sega Bits, and you're a very avid, sort of general Sega fan in general. And I see, there are some other Sega elements that are going to be part of this Fan Jam. It is called Sonic and Sega Fan Jam, of course. So, tell me where sort of the other franchises kind of fit into this. And, do you get predominantly Sonic fans to these to this event, or do you get kind of a mix of everybody?
A little bit of both, actually. Now, for the Sega aspect of Fan Jam, I wanted to do something that's different from other Sonic events, like Summer Sonic, Sonic Revolution, even Western Supersonic. They're all focused on Sonic the Hedgehog. With Fan Jam, I want to do something else to make it way different from the other conventions. I want it to be a little bit more Sega focused, where like people can be, some might remember some of the older franchises, and then you might have some new faces who might get interested in these particular franchises. So not only that we're going to have special guests who work on some of the Sonic games, we're also going to have various fan sites doing the presentations of their panels. I have a friend, his name is S2. He's one of the top Puyo Puyo players in Puyo Nexus. He's coming there. He's going to present the history of Puyo Puyo. I have another friend who I met over at in Virginia. His name is Oliver, but some people call him Oneda in the virtualfighter.com website. Who else am I bringing? And we have a few writers from Sonic Retro. They're going to be coming in. They're discussing like a huge lineup of different Sonic type topics and stuff, and they're going to be giving out a few prizes.
And that is all November 18th, just a couple of weeks away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sure that the countdown is on. Really quick, do you tend to get fans mostly from Savannah, Atlanta, the Southeast, or do you occasionally see the attendee that flies in from wherever just to attend?
Just like how Aaron was in that interview with one of the guys.
Yeah.
All the way here. Yes,
yeah.
That actually happens. I had a few friends come through from California, and a few friends from New Jersey, New York, even some people who drove all the way down here from Florida, and Texas too. Like it's not only in Savannah; it's also like people from different states coming through to Fan Jam. It's really surprising to see that.
How does it feel to be sort of at the forefront of this fan convention initiative in the United States? Not just in the United States, but really around the world. I mean, there's only two I can think of that have survived in the U.S. Yours and Shane's Sonic Revolution over on the West Coast. You're sort of a pioneer in that regard.
Well, I guess is what's the term for this one? I want to say. I remember I used to write for my own website called the Website of the Dead, and that was like the only House of the Dead fan site that existed, and it still exists to this day. Never had like really time to update it as much, but in the future I will. This is from Aaron. When I showed him the website, he said I was one of the first few people to like take initiative to make a fan site, and I feel the same way with FanJam too. Like I feel like it's surprising, like it's an honor to be like maybe like the first person to take initiative to represent Sega in a good way.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck. This is going to be live streamed, right? For some of us who, like me, are afraid of flying and can't make it down to Georgia for Saturday.
It will be streamed. We'll make an announcement, hopefully next week.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to that, and we appreciate you taking time and spending it with us to talk a little bit about FanJam here on The Final.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
And that was Corey Maru of SegaBits.com talking a bit about the upcoming Sonic and Sega FanJam, and that will be November 18th, just 2 weeks from now. Finally tonight, it's the final word, and this week we asked about Sonic Forces, already a very polarizing title for some of the community. Now, some who don't care about being spoiled already know what to expect, so big question, will this help or hurt the franchise? Well, at Gotta Go Fast 2003 has a rather optimistic take.
Sonic Forces helps or hurts the franchise. My opinion, helps it, because all I see is this. Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces, next year game. These games are helping rebuild Sonic's image, and again, they're not game changers, they're not gonna, help Sonic evolve in gameplay-wise. It just rebuilds people's trust in the character and in the franchise. Like, okay, they can make good games. They're doing this again. Because, again, I've always loved all the games, 06 Boom included. But this one, I really believe, like, they're just, look, guys, look at us. We're doing a good game this time. You can trust us, okay? We're doing good.
And that means, Steven, you have won the last Sonic Forces NYCC exclusive t-shirt that we have in our prize closet. You have 24 hours to DM us on Twitter so that we can ship it to you right away. And that's the final, and now you are finally up to date. Please join us here on Twitch Monday at 11:30 for our Sonic Forces launch special. Lou will be here. I'll talk a little bit about the review that will be coming for this, which we will have on the website, by the way, Tuesday at midnight. And also, I'll be back here next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern when Hardlight's Andrew McMillan is scheduled to be our guest. We'll talk about Sonic Forces Speed Battle. Good night and good luck.